They told you he was your hero. That he was infallible. But what if I told you? I just can't. That he killed people. Contrary to popular belief, Batman has killed before. No, I'm not talking about Golden Age pre-no-kill clause Batman, and I'm also not referring to any of his live-action portrayals in the films or television. Though many of his comic portrayals and variants operate under a strict no-kill policy, this doesn't mean that every version of Bruce Wayne's Batman follows this rule. It also doesn't mean that there aren't some times when he's had to make exceptions. This is Jay, and welcome to my top 5 times Batman totally killed someone in the comics, or it was at least heavily implied that he did, and they didn't want to straight up say it. So despite being obvious, there's a spoiler alert, for some of these Batman stories. This is obviously plot elements, and the one condition I put on myself is it has to be post-Golden Age Bruce Wayne Batman. Does not necessarily have to be Earth Prime or New 52, but I felt like it was a cop-out if I started going with other Batmen like Azrael and so on. So let's get right into it. Number 5. Number 5 goes out to Detective Comics issue 613, in which Batman totally kicks someone into what is essentially a trash grinder / compactor. Was it an accident? Yes. You can see it from the look in his eyes. But does that bring either of these people back to life that he basically pushed into this compactor? No, they are still dead and in tiny little pieces. At number 4, we have Batman Annual number 8, Messiah of the Crimson Sun. Oh boy, so here's one of those kills which could easily be considered a cop-out either on my part or on the part of the writers, but just hear me out on this. So Batman and Ra's al Ghul are in outer space, yes you heard me, outer space, fighting. It's really dumb. And basically Batman forces Ra's al Ghul's ship into a energy beam that he knows will just completely vaporize him into ashes. So at the end, Ra's al Ghul is floating through space as these ashes, because he's just dead. And Robin exclaims, you killed him! To which Bruce replies, did I, Robin? And to that I say, well, yeah, you did. You killed him. So you're trying to tell me that just because it's implied and not even stated that someone goes, collects the ashes, and uses them in a Lazarus pit, that the kill doesn't count? It doesn't count just because someone would go and bring this guy back to life? Come on, Bruce, that makes no sense at all. You're not even trying. At number 3, we have Batman issue 290. In this issue, Batman throws this character named Skulldugger. I don't know why that was a character, but anyway. Basically, he throws this character named Skulldugger into these electrified cables, and he totally dies. That's it. He's just dead. Was it an accident? Probably yes again. Is he still dead? Yeah, he's still dead. At number 2, we have Batman issue 420.
Smoke weed.
Not that Batman 420. Anyway, in this issue, Batman locks this guy named the KG Beast, which, by the way, is the most Cold War-inspired character I've ever heard of. He locks him in a room, leaving him to starve to death. Years later, they tried to go back and retcon this, but come on, if you think about it, the original writers wrote this as a story for Batman, where he had to choose basically to let someone die because otherwise their crimes would go unpunished and they'd just come back. So the intent of the original writers is to have this death stand, and even if it didn't because it was retconned, that's why I included it in the list. Alright guys, we've made it to number 1, and can you guess what it is? It's actually pretty much every work of Frank Miller's Batman, basically ever. The Batman of Earth 31. It's not just one kill. I kind of had to include this Batman just in general as the top, because if you think about it, he ends up basically murdering a lot of people. So in All-Star Batman and Robin, Batman crashes the Batmobile through multiple squad cars of corrupt Gotham PD officers. Some are shown to escape, but there's also no way that they all did, and Robin clearly references that Batman just wasted a bunch of police officers, which really pisses him off, so it's basically right there on the page that he did kill these people. Also, it's clearly implied by Black Canary later on in this graphic novel that Batman leaves several of the thugs that he and Canary take down at the docks to burn to death while he's making out with her and possibly getting a little bit of action below the belt as well. It's just kind of implied, we don't know. And then later on, The Dark Knight Strikes Again, while not straight up murdering him, Batman arranges the conditions for the death of Lex Luthor straight up. He basically delays him on purpose to kill him when he's fighting the second Joker of Earth 31, which is Dick Grayson in the Batcave. He says that he killed Grayson's bosses, so it's pretty obvious that he killed them. And after that, when Grayson, the second Joker, attempts to kill Carrie Kelly, the third Robin of Earth 31, Batman pretty much pushes him into lava and kills him. But it seems like in his later years, the Miller Batman still isn't a fan of killing. Sure, he killed a few people in his early on, inexperienced days, and he had to make a few exceptions in The Dark Knight Strikes Again. But in DK3 The Master Race, he even goes as far as to state that he doesn't kill, which I would assume is like, him saying that he generally doesn't kill, because he enjoys knowing that his enemies are afraid of him. In his inexperienced years, it shows a vigilante who isn't really afraid to cross that line, but he's also something of a sadist. At that time, he really likes inflicting pain upon people. You can see that in The Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Strikes Again as well, so it seems that later on in his life that sadism kind of grew, but the killing aspect of it did not. Anyway guys, this has been my list of the top 5 times Batman has taken a life or multiple lives. If you enjoyed what you'd watched, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like, let me know. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. I really want to put out some more lists like this. It took me a long time to do, but I had a lot of fun with it. So I really appreciate your guys' support. I appreciate you sticking it out with me, and I appreciate you a lot. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time.